Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today it's going to be a mid-rank madness match between Makashima and BallsMcGee. Here on Acropolis, the latter edition, Makashima appreciates BallsMcGee's name. And let's get right on into it. Top left-hand corner is the Red Protoss player, Makashima. And in the bottom right-hand corner, it is the blue Terran player, BallsMcGee, with the Rainer in high school photo. Which, would Rainer be a hipster? I don't know. Kind of like maybe Rainer would be a hipster, which makes me laugh. It's so good. So funny stuff. All right, so PvT here, diamond level mid-rank madness. That just means it is a platinum or diamond level game. That was sent to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com. With the subject of mid-rank madness. Pardon my pause for a sneeze there, but boop, bit of a kiss on the nose there for each of the SCV and the probe involved with that interaction. Yeah, I will cast them. Get in my screeners, choose the very best entertaining ones here. We just like to see what's going on, right? What is going on in the mid-ranks? Are players just trying to emulate players like Rainer and Maru and Hero Marine and Cyril? Are they doing their own little spin on things like a gas steal? Oh, BallsMcGee. I like it. I'm loving this gas steal here. Which means what? What are you doing? That would mean a gas steal would make sense. Well, obviously a Reaper first, so we're doing that. This is not the Brave. A little goblin who will say she is just not brave. Not saw a really shiny magical item labeled Do Not Touch, imagining that as an invitation. Not grabbed the item, which sent her from her fantasy world filled with Dungeons and Dragons to the science fiction world filled with Zelnaga and Zerglings. Not was sent to the Reaper program for the crime of being green. It isn't easy being green. Yeah, Kermit knows all about that. But I mean, what? Like, does it slow down your ability to get a Stalker or an Adept? I just don't see it. And then blocking the expansion too. BallsMcGee, you're hilarious. But I mean, this is definitely going to be a Stalker. So I mean, sure. It slows down the gas income here. Oh, it takes the Ninja Expand. BallsMcGee is doing things, guys. He's not taking this base. That base is for suckers. He's going to Ninja Expand out here, prevent the Protoss player from taking his natural for as long as terribly possible, which is going to be like another 4 seconds here, but still, as much as he can. And the Reaper's not going to be able to get anything done. So there's the cancel, but Makashima's build is all sorts of out of whack right now. He's got 2 gateways and no expansion yet, and he's going for a Twilight Council. What? Is he DT rushing? That would actually be the best thing I would see today. It would make the top list of like the things I've seen today that are awesome. That said, I will tell you that my oldest son voluntarily signed up for a Saturday math competition. What? Yeah, math competition. I mean, in fairness, the first prize was like a VR drone setup, which is, in fairness, pretty awesome. But still, he's never done that in his entire life, so it's kind of growing up on me, I think, is what's going on here. And he's just developing some work habits I've never actually seen out of him. Go figure. Anyway, Zealot pushing on in. Stalker here, too. Doesn't want to go up that ramp, not when there happens to be 3 Marines and a Reaper inside. One Reaper whose name is not the Brave. And Makashima's like, I'm cool. I am keeping my opponent to 1 base. I have 2 bases myself. I have a pretty scary army. I could actually maybe break this, to be honest with you. Reaper decides to see what we're dealing with, and the answer is lots of scary stuff. So back up the ramp we go, and by the ramp we mean just up the way. So Makashima, come on, Dark Shrine me. Dark Shrine me. He's not doing it. He's getting Blink, though, which is fine. He's getting a robotics facility. He wants to Blink up past the bunker. But now there's a tank out. So BallsMcGee is going to turtle up here a little bit on 1 base. Sneaky natural base, though, doing stuff. That's where the mules go. I'm loving that decision. More barracks in production. Engineering bay coming up. More tanks coming in here. Just the more tanks there are, the harder it is for Makashima to accomplish anything by way of blinking on up in here. He's got a probe in the mix. The probe really should not be here. Probe, go home. Start macroing up a little bit. Mining minerals is going to be good for your health in the long run here, but there's an observer. Yeah. Observer to see what we're dealing with, and then tank fire and just scaring everybody away from that low ground, but not so far away that BallsMcGee could easily expand. Yeah, Makashima knows what he's doing here. He really does. APM check on these guys, 144 for Makashima, an average of 76 for BallsMcGee, but I average about 160 at the moment. He wasn't spamming early, and that hurts his overall APM, but he's using it now, that's for sure. Liberator sneaking on out. This is going to be so painful for Makashima. Yeah, just going to set up, and, oh, reaction time by Makashima is pro level. That was pro level reaction time there. Holy smokes. Is that Neeb? Oh. Oh, Reapers explode and have blood. Oh. If you were, wow, Liberator dies accomplishing nothing. Brutal stuff. Yeah, and if you didn't watch this, if you didn't watch the Hero Marine versus Rainer game that I posted earlier this week, which was an incredible game, by the way, and you should watch it if you haven't. Maybe it's coming up later. Anyway, I try to remember what units exploded and like had blood gushing out when they died, and the answer was Marauder. Definitely Marauder, and then at the same time, Reapers. Reapers do the same thing. They explode because they've got fuel, right? They've got their jetpacks that explode when they die. Marauders have their whatever shoots their giant concussive shells, and then they die. So there you go. I think those are the two. Third base on the way from Makashima. Held off that Liberator like an absolute pro. Observer's in here. Where, though? I can't even see it. Observer. Oh, right. It's on top of the command center. Blending in quite nicely, might I add. Intentional, I don't know. Why are you bringing SCVs down here? Is he long distance mining? You know, if you move the tank up, you could actually take down these dudes. Like one shot and then let the Marines finish them off. Yeah, there you go. Shove them out of there. Shove them out. Makashima's like, I'm on 3 bases and my opponent is still on 1 base. I am the hero of Protoss, which is not necessarily true. If you're playing a diamond level player and you're at the 7-minute mark and they are still on 1 base as far as you know, go scout a bit. Like, make sure that you can find this, and you'll be in a better place. He could have wrecked this with the small army that he had if he knew it existed, and then he would actually be in the position he thinks he's in. But because he's not scouting all that much, because he's assuming what's going on is what's actually going on, then he's in a lot of trouble. Another base on the way from BallsMcGee, loving that. Makashima, what's your decision-making here, guy? Oh, it is a Dark Shrine. All right. So went ahead Dark Shrine, apparently, here today, working on 1-1. The last Stalker hanging out in the top right-hand side of the map. That Stalker is super dead. Ready for this? Oh, hold on. Hold on. Don't make your presence known, Stalker. Don't shoot anything. Those guys turn around. They will smash you in the face. Storm coming in too. So Makashima doing all the right things you want in a PvT. You want your Storm. Disruptors can be pretty good. Colossus actually not bad here either against this largely Marine group. You're going to want splash damage of some kind, or Blink TTs. I will accept Blink TTs as an answer here. But yeah, Storm alone is going to pay for itself time and time again. 8 minutes in, we're looking at a pretty scary situation. So, Zealots pushing out. Do they have charge? Yes, but they're dead now. That's another thing, future patch coming up that might already be out. They got rid of the damage that Zealots do on charge. They still charge, and they have actually a buffed movement speed increase with charge, even beyond what it is now. They just don't hit you for 8 damage when they actually catch up to you and smash you in the face. Their regular attacks do stuff, but just the charge itself doesn't have its own discrete damage that it deals, which I think that's probably fair. I mean, Protoss seem happy with the overall speed buff those guys get anyway, so no complaints. No complaints from anyone. Big old drop coming into the main base, though. Makashima. Don't we have any Artosis pylons we can kill here? Just go after probes. That seems totally fine. Let's just murder all of the probes. Yeah, this group is a little bit scary here, but Zealots are morphing in. Why are you attacking your own gateway? Bad control on that Stalker guy. Why are you not moving in here? And this is where you would push in with this group and take this down. Because, you know, the entire army came up to deal with this drop and did a great job with it, to be honest. End of the day, 17 probes have died. What? 17 probes have gone down. And now BallsMcGee decides to go for it. But shield battery and 5 cannons, maybe a little bit too much. If you went in there a couple minutes earlier when that shield battery wasn't quite up yet and this cannon wasn't quite up yet, probably a different situation, but you live and you learn. A double ninja expand here from BallsMcGee. Take this base. Do it. Okay, not doing that one. This one instead. All right. I guess the one's a little bit close. Look at this. He's got Zealots in places where he thinks bases should be. He's got good vision up here and down here, but nope, doesn't know about that one at all. That Stalker could probably blink and take down that Viking, but instead is going to try to kill an SCV. And a medevac is not really much direction to this Stalker's life, as it turns out. Holy charge lots, though. All right, well, everybody's dead here. That command center needs to be canceled on the upgrade and then lifted, but it doesn't matter, I guess. I think Makashima could honestly just win with charge lots at this point. You charge onto the tanks, down, 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 and down, and then there's really nothing left here for BallsMcGee. But Makashima, once again, assuming he's taken down the third base of BallsMcGee when he has not done so, is feeling pretty good about himself. The problem is these bases, which again, in the dark entirely that they even exist. Which, it's given me some anxiety here to see that. There's a probe in the mix. It's like day 13. They don't know I'm not a zealot yet, even though I'm holding a big box of Vespian gas. You'd think they'd know, but they don't. Makashima taking a fourth base after, again, thinking he's killed the third. BallsMcGee taking what looks to be his third base, but is in actuality his fifth up here at the third base location at 3 o'clock, which is absolutely fantastic. But army supply 79 to 76. Largely going Marauder tank Widow Mine here with some Marines. Some Marines in the mix. +1 attack is done for his dudes. +1/+1 is done for Makashima. And he's working on 2-2 and it's almost complete. He's got DTs in the mix as well. And there you go. He thinks he's taking down the third base, but really it's the fifth. This is a game of just absolute deception and subterfuge. And just tacking on in here to the natural base. This is a YOLO attack if I've ever seen one. Look at him just going for it. He said, if I can cripple this SCV count, I've got this thing won. I can sacrifice this army, I think, to make it happen. Ah, delicious storm, too. Oh, BallsMcGee, get out of there. Get out of there. Makashima thinks he has this game won and complete. That is not the case, though. But he's feeling pretty good about it anyway. Yeah, just get out. Just, Stalkers, why are you engaging? Really? Going up this ramp? Yeah, bad idea. Just go home. Got an Archon from the High Templar that used all their energy. Makashima's like, yeah, I'm on 4 bases. I'm on 52 workers. There's no way my opponent is on anything but 1 base right now. I just need to starve him out. Keep macroing, keep maxing out, and I will be just fine. Of course, not really spending his minerals all that well, but that's okay. Could really be working on more probe production and actually rallying these guys at the 4th to the minerals. Seems like that would be a good thing to do. Yeah, I mean, this base has been here forever. This is BallsMcGee's natural. This is where all his production is going, because again, Makashima has a distinct aversion to scouting down here, has no interest in doing it at all. This place is all planetary fortressed up right now. And BallsMcGee is retaking his natural with the command center he was probably trying to do somewhere else, as well as expanding here. So he's doing everything but taking his third, which Makashima assumes he is going to do. Ooh, DT Blink is on the way. All right. Makashima, loving that. Love to see a little DT Blink from time to time. Really livens up the StarCraft, in my personal opinion. And this army up north, I don't think they want to engage with this. This is probably a get-out-of-here situation, and they are. So good reaction time here for Makashima so far. Like, really recognizing when things are bad and getting out is one of the skills that he is pretty good at. Zealots coming down. Did they find this base? For the first time, yes. They find that base. We're going to try to wipe out at least a couple of these tanks, but they only get 1, and then they get sucked in this planetary and get wrecked. You need more DTs, or Zealots, rather, than that. Oh, don't chase them towards your other base, though. Oh, it's a good thing this one isn't here, actually. Well, it's this one, so I guess it doesn't really matter in the end. Charge lots, man. Charging on in, getting stuff done. 1 kill on that Zealot. Does he know about this? He sees the army disappearing down here and is like, Hellion.
Research complete.
I like it. I like that Makashima should have an idea, but he doesn't. North base coming in. BallsMcGee is on 1 2, 3, 4, 5 bases right now. Makashima is as well, so kind of found ourselves in an interesting position of BallsMcGee taking a non-traditional route to get here, but we're pretty much in the same spot we would be otherwise. That said, Army Supplies 104 to 68 in favor of BallsMcGee. He's got Hellbats, he's got Marines, he's got Marauders. He's going to try to take down this Nexus while getting hacked up the backside and stormed into oblivion by Makashima's High Templar. Storming his own stuff to a certain extent here as well. I mean, there's some friendly fire there, to be sure. Remember how High Templar were given their own attack and how bad it is? It's enough, though, in a 4-on-1 situation to kill a Marauder eventually, and you lose a High Templar for it. Whew! Still a little bit under the weather here, but my voice is better than it has been in the past few casts. I'm wondering if you can tell. Still a little sniffly. Trying to avoid sniffing directly into the microphone here, but sometimes a sniff is what needs to happen. So Army Supply 95 to 52 in favor of Makashima. Small Army tries to come into a very entrenched position of tanks, planetary fortresses, and widow mines, and then decides to get on out of there. Again, the top base getting found by a tank. BallsMcGee doing a pretty good job finding bases. Tank with his incredible +1 attack upgrade will eventually kill this thing given enough time, but the charge lots have something to say about that, and what they're going to say about it is no. You're not allowed. Yeah, this base is going to get mined out. I mean, that is a successful ninja. If you can have a ninja base that gets mined out without ever being discovered, you win. Hellions, blue flamers coming on in and actually focusing on that High Templar. Oh my gosh, he stormed his own mineral line. No! You genocidal maniac. Why would you kill your own mineral line? I understand that problems are happening. There were Hellions in there, but geez, there's got to be better ways. There's got to be better ways. Let the cannons handle it or get the probes out of there, but storming your own mineral line seems like a bad idea. BallsMcGee is just sending small groups of units into different places and trying to accomplish stuff with them, and so far having pretty good success. Oh, almost got that pylon, but there's another pylon for the warp in, so it didn't really matter. This base going to go down for the second time today. It sure seems like it will, if you ask me. Yeah, man. Although DTs, enough to save it? Back it away. No response from BallsMcGee. Nexus does go down, but these DTs, with their Shadow Stride and a carrier in production, what is even happening right now? Yeah, Shadow Stride is done. Did they actually use it, though? I don't think they did. Hang on. Hang on. You're almost there. You've almost found it. Oh, they found Ninja Base before it got mined out. Congratulations, everybody. This base is in trouble, though. Charging on in. Going after SCVs, one-shotting those guys. The DTs are very capable of that. Yeah, small group trying to get in here. Oh, does actually cancel the warp in on half of these Stalkers. That's a big deal, actually. These Marines are kind of handling it. 2-2 Marine Marauder against these Stalkers, wrecking them quite effectively. Working at 3-3, though, on the Stalkers. But overall, I mean, Marines and Marauders are incredible against Stalkers. It's the mobility of the Stalker that's supposed to do good for them. But at the end of the day, Makashima does end up losing the, we'll call it an 11 o'clock position. Charge lots respond a little bit too late. And the DT is doing some stuff, too. They're not Shadow Striding, though. Use Shadow Stride. Shadow Stride now. You just keep slow walking in here, guy. I'm not sure that BallsMcGee is aware DTs are on the map. I'm going to say that. Not entirely sure, but Makashima is in a lot of trouble. He effectively has one mining base. He's trying to rebuild his third, which is mined out anyway. He needs a new source of income, and he needs it now after losing that topside base. For sure, he is in a lot of trouble. Carriers could be a decent answer here, as we're looking at it. And, oh, he does. Oh, he did blink, but onto Widow Mine seems like a bad idea. So he blinked and got out of there. Smart. Smart maneuver. And DT's Shadow Stride to get away from the units that are chasing them. Man, he really wants to kill that DT. He's not going to be able to do it. Shield Battery coming in at just the opportune time. But army supply 94 to 88. Makashima has a decent army supply. A lot of them are in carriers, though. The carriers have chosen not to engage quite yet. They're not going to reveal themselves at this point in time. So yeah, pretty good mid-rank madness game. Gotta say, whoever sent this one in, thank you, I appreciate it. It seems pretty even at this stage. I mean, BallsMcGee definitely has the better economy, so that does bode well for him, but this carrier stuff, a little bit scary. If you're not ready for carriers in StarCraft 2, you're gonna have a bad time. That said, you're generally gonna want to go for Marines and Widow Mines. I kind of feel like that's what BallsMcGee has a lot of anyway. It doesn't have a massive tank count anyway. Yeah, Makashima holding his own. The only problem is he's down about 30 workers, which is bad. The income is highly favoring BallsMcGee right now in every possible scenario. You could probably afford to expand again at this stage, honestly. Sitting on 6,000 minerals, you might as well. Makashima needs this base to survive, I'm going to say, our little 11 o'clocker. And he's got enough to hold against these guys. And these guys and that guy. Blue Flame Hellions against Zealots, though, not bad. Really not bad. Blue Flame Hellions versus anything that is a light classification. Pretty good stuff. Is that a Rainer or a Menk statue? It certainly is. Like it. Alright. Hellions decide to try to kill, you know, a thing. Carriers showing up, though, and BallsMcGee suddenly was like, hold on! What? See, you made some assumptions, too. You did not assume that there were carriers out, did you, guy? +1 air weapons is done. Turrets are no match for this number of carriers. Marines, no match for this number of carriers. Planetary Fortress in a lot of trouble here, too. SCVs maybe thinking about repairing, but they don't actually end up even trying right now. Additional upgrades would be nice. SCVs in a wrong place, wrong time here. BallsMcGee decides to push up with his army to try to deal with this base while the carriers are out of position, and I kind of like it. Ghost Academy does get sniped down. What a bad place for a Ghost Academy. Ouch. That denies the upgrade. Plus BallsMcGee is getting pushed away up here in the center section as well. Liberator's trying to hold this. Sneaky Ninja base destroyed, and a lot of his production is here too. As barracks and factories get sniped down, the production is not going to be good here for BallsMcGee. Yeah, look at him just focusing down these barracks. Not really focusing here, going after an already expired refinery, but the good news for Makashima is he's got his base if he wants to saturate it. He's oversaturated one of his bases at least, and he's got a ton of probes at his natural he needs to put to work. So do that, and you're going to be in a good spot here, my guy. You need the minerals especially to replace interceptors as they die. Not that they're dying all that much here, to be honest. +2 air weapons is going to be done. +3 is a huge deal for carriers. BallsMcGee guy, he's in trouble, is all I'm trying to say here right now. We're looking at 3 Marines, 2 Vikings, and 2 Liberators. No, 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 no. Oh, Makashima, you had it. Did you just lose 4 carriers to turrets because you moved commanded over them? Because you didn't know they were there? Is that what happened? Dude, Makashima had that game won, I say. He's going to lose another carrier. Holy crap. Holy cannoli. Dude, Makashima just lost his entire carrier fleet. I don't even... You don't even... What a... That's MidRank Madness for you guys. It really is. I mean, the Viking count is nice, but they're actually shooting interceptors, which is really dumb right now. Is Makashima going to make the comeback of the century here? He lost a carrier, but the Viking count is really abysmally low. That Marine count is not doing super well either. But a lot of interceptors are dying. Wouldn't mind getting some stuff done, as far as damage-wise is concerned at the least. Makashima making more DTs, making additional carriers. That +2 attack is done on these guys now. How many interceptors do they have? Doesn't seem like they are maxed out by any stretch of the imagination. Makashima needs to start mining from this base. He's so busy microing carriers. Oh, Widowmine's getting some serious hits in there. Another carrier goes down. Now the Marine count is way heavier than 3. Another carrier down. Again, Marine anti-air is some of the best anti-air in the entire game. Shadow Stride. Shadow Stride. Yeah, there's your scan, but all the Marines are dead, and regardless at this point. Okay, so this game went from, I think the carriers have this thing won, to a much different, dude, these probes are killing me. Different, everybody's in a lot of trouble now situation. BallsMcGee desperately trying to take down this Nexus that he just discovered exists. With Marines and Hellions, which sure, we'll get there eventually. Viking count is high enough that I don't think any more carriers are going to be viable at this stage. That's a lot of Vikings. Army supply 120 to 56, man. BallsMcGee has just been consistently macroing through this entire process. And I think that's it. I really do. These Vikings, if they focus, can take down those carriers, but they decide to pull back anyway. Not quite in a fantastic position, but you know, pretty good against Stalkers when they're landed, just because that bonus damage versus mechanical is so good. All right, well, BallsMcGee is not going to bother to replant the old ninja because, again, that's mined out, but the base a little bit to the north here is definitely a target of his. Makashima just has no idea. So there's a little icon up here above the minimap when you're actually playing the game that shows you how many idle workers you have. If you control-click on that, it selects every single one of them, and you can tell them to do something like mine from this base, which, again, is oversaturated at this point. So maybe you want another base. But these probes are murdering me for Makashima. They make me so sad. DT says, how about you don't get a base here? You feel good about that? Bad? Is that how you feel about this? It's burning down anyway. Where's your scans? Do you not have any scans? There it is. Alright, so it will finish building. Makashima's taking a base in the top right, taking a book out of BallsMcGee's book. Trying to take a ninja here at the 28-minute mark of the match. This base just needs to get mined out so we can be done with it. Surprisingly, 1,700 gas at the assimilator in this third base, which is insane. That's so much. Like, the fourth has way fewer gas than that. I guess this base has died a couple times, which probably explains the discrepancy. But it's a lot of Vikings. Like, a lot of Vikings. Like, 18 Vikings versus 6 carriers. Upgrades are +2 air weapons. On the other side, we have +1 air armor and no other attack upgrades at all for the air. And on the other side, we're base racing. All right. Well, base down here, base down 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock positions respectively. And yeah, they say never base race a Terran, but if you have carriers, maybe you can pull that off. I think the Vikings should really head back and just deal with the carriers. They're not running home. Although I suppose if they do have a recall, they can do that. Yeah, that was an important source of income for BallsMcGee. Oh, he did recall some of them. But, oh, he left 2 of them alone. And actually, BallsMcGee heading home. Dude, tanks getting owned by this Dark Templar. He's got 15 kills. This is a 16-kill DT. 16-kill Dark Templar. Shadow Stride it. Oh, guy. Where are you going? I don't know. Top right base for Makashima is done. We've got these probes over here, which I'd really like to see these probes do something by the end of the game. because Makashima has no interest in using them for anything at all. His concept of idle probes is approximately nil. As I can see, there are at least 20 of them right now accomplishing nothing for the guy. Here's more. If Makashima loses this, I'm going to attribute it mostly to the fact that he doesn't know how to put idle probes to work. That's it. That's what I'm going to attribute it to. So please take care of your idle workers if you're watching this and if you play StarCraft, because some of you do. I have to assume this base going down would be pretty big. There are 2 tanks, Planetary Fortress, and 3 missile turrets here. It doesn't seem ample. We're honest with ourselves. I don't know the ground army actually needs to be involved with this at all. Like, maybe kill these 2 turrets and then just get out of here, but... Alright, fine. I guess you just can overwhelming force this thing and call it good. So, base down. Income going to fall here for BallsMcGee further on. His army is up this way. Still so many Vikings, which is probably intelligent. Killing this base does not seem like a decent idea just because, well, I guess it is a decent source of income and should be for a while yet. BallsMcGee's response to this is seriously just to head on over and try to base race this thing. I don't know about this. This carrier is severely, severely injured. SCV's down. Only 38 SCVs remaining in the game. Top right base in trouble. The Vikings just wrecking those carriers. Just one-shotting those carriers. There are so many of them right now. BallsMcGee's income is decent. It is better than Makashima's absolutely 0% zero everything income right now. He's going to try to win this thing with the army that he has now, but he is down 103 to 67 army supply. BallsMcGee has little Vikings that aren't really accomplishing much or contributing, but if the carriers ever try to stop them from doing this, it would be a bad thing. Interesting to come on in here. I guess a lot of production does live here. Look at him focusing down supply depots for some reason. Not really a priority you should be going for. Production facilities should be much higher on the list. Yeah, and BallsMcGee's like, you know what? I think we got this. I think we can come back and deal with this. 10 kills on that Archon, 12 kills on that carrier, 11 there, 14, 9 on this guy. DT's helping out the cause, going after production facilities like they stole something. BallsMcGee is gonna lose his main base. And here we go. This is the engagement that Makashima did not want to get involved in here today. The Archons die instantly. The Viking count is high enough to wipe out these carriers with 1 volley each. And then the Stalkers are all gone because, you know, Viking damage versus mechanical is insanely good. So did Makashima figure these guys out? No. Who are these guys? And why does he know about these ones? All right, we're done. That's it. We're at 7 army supply for Makashima. He's got 52 probes, but they are mining nothing. Nothing right now. He doesn't have the resources to build another Nexus. So he's going to long distance mine and try to save it, but we're done. We are done here. Like, I'm looking at it. It's got a Raven in the mix to snipe off these observers, which I am totally 100% on board with. And that's it. Makashima taps out. Good game. Really? Says BallsMcGee. Good game. What a sick game. Awesome game. Good game. These guys are happy, and BallsMcGee's your winner in 33 minutes and 50 seconds. Wow. Hit that like button if you enjoyed that one. That was a ton of fun. This is what MidRank Madness is all about, man. Just scrappiness and fighting and a little bit of unorthodox play sometimes. 8 Nexuses died. 8 Nexuses, 5 planetaries, 2 command centers, and 2 orbitals. Wow. Resources lost 51,000 from Makashima, 67 for BallsMcGee. He lost so much more stuff today, but he had more stuff because he had more workers and more bases consistently throughout the game. And that's what it's all about, man. Economically doing a good thing. 135 SCVs died. 135, and BallsMcGee had 35 at the end of the game, which is hilarious. Was he making any? He was not. Okie doke. 52 probes left over, but no base to mine from at all. BallsMcGee did a good job shutting down the bases of Makashima's and keeping his alive for the most part. And then just making a million Vikings to handle the carriers that were trying to get stuff done. So, wow, that was great. Just back and forth. There was a ninja expand. There were carriers in the mix. We saw Dark Templar with Blink. What a really fun mid-rank madness. Really fun. But for now, that's going to be it today. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and your mid-rank madness. Go ahead, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.
Before us, our honor guides us. Me with you, you with me. We are as one. Justice, our duty is unending. I feel your presence. We are as one. Sense of soul, a soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala Adu. Ascension is before us. Our honor guides us. Me with you, you with me. We are as one. I sense a soul, a soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala Adu. sense of soul. The soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala Adu. Kalarulas. Karamulas. Aklaranus. Naslaran. Kinalatu. Kasa.